The Seven Deadly Sins, Four Nights of the Apocalypse is awful. I know. I know. What a shock. So honestly, your first question is probably, hey, dumbass, everyone knows Seven Deadly Sins is horrible. It's been horrible since season 2. Why would you even bother watching the sequel? Well, it's because Seven Deadly Sins was my first ever anime outside of childhood anime like Pokemon, and somehow it was the show that got me into anime in the first place. So now, even though I know the show is garbage, I have this like Stockholm Syndrome-esque relationship with the series where I watch every new season as it comes out, even that I know it's gonna suck. I even watched a non-canon Netflix movie, so trust me, I was obsessed. I mean, I still get emotional whenever I hear The Perfect Time. It takes me back to when I was the ripe age of... And how old was I? 2018? 19. 14? Ugh. I can feel the gray hairs as we speak. Now, when I learned that the Seven Deadly Sins had a sequel series coming out, boy was I excited. Despite its flaws, and trust me, show has more flaws than pros, there was some things I liked about the early season, so I was really hoping that this new series would be the redemption for the series. And when it came out, I watched it, and, well, no more lollygagging around, let's just get into it. But before we even get into Four Nights of the Apocalypse, we actually need to look at the two movies that capped off the original series, The Grudge of Edinburgh Part 1 and 2. It's in these two movies where the Nights of the Apocalypse is set up and we are introduced to the new setting that the series takes place in. A post-Seven Deadly Sins Season 4 world where Meliodas reigns as the King of Leonis and King Arthur reigns over Camelot as the main antagonist. We're also introduced to two of the four titular Knights of the Apocalypse, Lancelot and Tristan. The four are all named after the Knights of the Round Table, which I'm sure you noticed. Neat detail since they're fated to take down the Mad King Arthur. Anyways, Tristan is the son of Meliodas and Elizabeth, and oh my god, I fucking hate this design. It's so bad. It's like it's perfectly ripped out of a DeviantArt page. If I gave an anime-obsessed middle schooler a box of crayons and I told him to draw me Meliodas and Elizabeth's kid, this is exactly what they would make. Ooh, he has the angel eye and the demon eye. Right out of the fucking fanfiction, man. Next is Lancelot, and he's the son of Bon and... her... Well, hopefully the new series will have a clean slate and won't devolve into any of the nasty shit. Yup, this statement will definitely hold as the video continues. Definitely. So, Tristan and Lancelot do an epic team-up and defeat a minor C-tier villain from the original series. Woohoo! And now we can move on to the sequel series. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we can talk about the animation. And god, it sure is animated. In a weird way, I think I actually prefer it to the animation from the latter half of Seven Deadly Sins. I mean, when the animation in question looks like this, I suppose it's not exactly a high bar to clear. So, as strange and ugly and clunky as the CGI is here, I don't hate it. It's really the best the series has looked in a while, in my opinion. And now, without further ado, it's now time for the Seven Deadly Sins, Four Nights of the Apocalypse. And yeah, it's pretty bad. Immediately, before we even start talking about the substance of the show, one look at it immediately struck me when I watched it. See these little blemishes on the screen? That's not like a weird effect of the video or an artistic decision either. If you're familiar with the drawing and animation, those marks are from rushed coloring. It's actually so lazy that you don't even come across it in low-budget, no-name anime. Yet, here they are, and they persist for every shot of the rest of the season. They're kinda easy to ignore, but it's still a little distracting, and it's a great indicator of what's coming up. With our brand new series, we are gifted 4 brand new main characters. We have Meliodas, but he's green, Bon, but he's purple, King, but he's long, and Elizabeth, but she's blue. To be fair, I'm being a little harsh on Donnie here. I do think he still resembles Bon, but he's more than unique enough as a design. The rest, though... Well, the series starts on top of a big mountain where we meet Percival, who is our new main character. He's just a little guy, and while he's actually 16, he acts like a young child and has the maturity of a young child. Percival lives up here with his grandfather, peacefully, until an evil knight shows up and kills them both. Oh, sorry, Percival somehow survives this wound? Like, I know that it's anime, you know, but you should have no organs left. Also, how are your arms still attached? Like, we could see the blow clearly go right through you. That's not how limbs work. Regardless, Percy heals up and leaves the mountain to go on a journey to get revenge on the knight who killed his grandfather. This is where Percival encounters a traveling magician group made up of people whose magic is only strong enough to perform small tricks, which is actually a super neat idea. Can't believe I'm saying that. Percival joins up with them, and they go to a nearby town to stock up and rest. We get the scene where Percival bathes with the monkey girl, and because she assumes he's a toddler, which is a reasonable assumption. And on top of this weird compromising situation, we get gratuitous shots of an exposed minor. Right back into Seven Deadly Sins, baby. Boy, I sure am glad this show isn't weird. Anyway, an angry knight shows up and fights with Percival, and we repeat this kind of Knight of the Week cycle for the rest of the season. Evil Knight shows up, we fight it, we win, rinse, repeat. As along the way, we pick up Gnostians. His magic ability allows him to infinitely create any poison he's ingested while giving him immunity to it. Which sounds like such an awesome ability until you remember that this is Seven Deadly Sins. It's like how Nico Robin's ability to instantly snap everyone's neck seems really overpowered, then all the enemies have huge bulked up necks. Sorry, Nonsians. Your super neat ability is pretty worthless against an actual magic attack. We leave Nasien's place and head to our next major plot beat where we meet Blue Elizabeth. I mean Anglehod. And we reunite with the evil knight from episode 1, whose name is Ironside, by the way. And he's also Percival's father. A fight ensues, and you know shit's getting real because An's clothes come off. This seems like a good time to bring up this little tidbit I discovered while writing the script. It's the top comment on An's page of the Seven Deadly Sins wiki. Oh my god, Anglehod's abs are the sexiest, to the point that I would rub her belly until I scratched her navel like crazy. I'd like to see a picture of her stomach to clearly see how sexy it is. This is who the show is made for. Continuing, Percival fights off Ironside while literally carrying his entire squad because they're all useless, and Ironside flees. Leaving the town behind and taking Abs Girl along with us, we reach a town run by bandits, and hey, it's Hauser! He's an alcoholic now. But hey, we just fought Ironside. We can handle some bandits. Oh no, god, it looks so bad. Okay, guys. I know the CGI is rough, but don't worry. It looks even worse in motion. After we beat the Dragoon, we go back to our basic Knight of the Week formula. The squad gets turned into naked babies. We reunite with my king, Gowther. Sparkle! Gowther makes the knights kill themselves. Whoa, holy shit. That's why he's the fucking goat. We fight more knights, and the little pink fox reveals himself to actually have been Lancelot all along. But if you aren't 3 years old, you figured that out already, so I won't insult your intelligence any further. Finally, arriving in Leonis, we are introduced to an older and much less annoying Tristan, and the fourth and final knight, Gawain, who is the successor to Escanor. There's a super funny joke where Percival runs into this girl's privates head first, which causes her to cry about being raped and losing her chastity. It's incredibly funny, and not weird, or gross, or tone deaf, or off-putting at all. Now, with all 4 of the Knights of the Apocalypse together, they have to face off with the Big Bad, a reincarnated Galland in Melascula. Meanwhile, one of Arthur's knights is breaking into the castle and Lancelot goes to intervene. The knight is revealed to be Jericho, one of the few Season 1 characters who still got to be a character after Season 1. Tristan's goon troop isn't strong enough to stop her, so Jericho goes head-to-head with Gila, a Season 1 character who, like most of the cast, didn't get to be a character after Season 1. In case you don't remember, Jericho was Bond's secondary love interest, and from the original series, she somehow loses to this thing. Look at it! Look at it! Anyway, Lancelot catches up to Jericho, and Jericho reveals that the reason she disappeared from Lancelot's life, and blah blah blah. You know what? I'll just let her say it.
The truth is that I've fallen madly in love with you.
Yep.
I developed these feelings during our 3 years adventuring together. For a child who was even half my age, I fell in love with someone I considered my younger brother.
Couldn't get the dad, so you had to go for the son. It's not even like the usual Japan pedophilia. It's worse somehow. They're not even trying to hide it with some, actually, their age is illegal technically, bullshit. It's just blatant pedophilia, and it's framed from a sympathetic angle for some reason. But at least now we're done with the weird stuff, Shirley, and... oh, God, I almost feel like I need to censor this. Why is Lancelot making it with a child? I know he didn't want to, but why even write this into the show? It's so fucking nasty. Well, now, Shirley, we're done with the weird stuff. We have to be. Back to the battle, Galen and Molaskula fuse into one objectively weaker and pathetic monster. The knights and their friends fight against it, and it's probably strong. I don't know, it really doesn't fucking do anything, it just talks shit. Gawain unleashes a huge attack on it, and oh, what the fuck? I have to censor this one. This bullshit, it's nasty. Another Seven Deadly Sins classic of woman turns out to be a secret, actual child. Whatever. Tristan goes demon mode and kills the monster with ease, and Arthur shows up for a cliffhanger. The end. Also, I didn't know where to put this in the video, but during the making of the video, the editor of the Seven Deadly Sins killed his wife.
Do with that information what you will.
Hey, thanks so much for watching the video, and I just want to say thank you so much for all the love you guys showed the Garl problem. It was my first video ever, and I didn't expect it to perform well at all. Yet, to my amazement, it's now sitting at just over 10,000 views. And I was left so many amazing comments, so kind and inspiring. It really means so much, and I hope I continue to make content that you like in the future.
I know this one was a little less impressive than my last video, but I just wanted to get something out there so you guys weren't waiting forever for me. I'll try really hard to get out another video by the end of the week, but no promises. Thank you so much.
Hey, you could talk all the shit you want, but they never dropped the ball on these openings. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la.
Sorry.